Hello, my loves. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are watching from. And above all else, Merry Christmas Eve. I will probably tell everybody that I see today because it is hilarious and I love it. And I'm a huge Friends fan. For anybody who doesn't know it, I've seen every episode of every season at least 10 times. It is my comfort show. I love it so much. So I am coming to you from the coast of North Carolina, where we are having like 50-mile-an-hour winds, and I had to go rescue Santa. And some Christmas decorations broke. Good times, good times. So when you're hopping on, I'm just on here to say hi, to chat. What's coming up for you guys? Today's a new moon. Hi. Tell me where you're watching from and what your weather is like. Because let me just tell you, I am so thankful I am not in Texas right now because they do not know how to handle freezing. Most people there don't know how to handle below zero temperatures, and I'm sure it'd be a little chaotic. Uh, but anyhow, so I'm coming on just to chit chat and see what's coming up for you guys. We had the new moon in Capricorn at 5-ish sometime this morning, Eastern Standard Time. I don't know about you, but the moons absolutely affect me. And I am most affected by the new moon. New moon is my moon. We all have the moon that most affects us. So majority of people are usually affected more by the full moon. I tend to be more affected by the new moon. And so because this is a super new moon, which means it's really close to the earth, I was like, last night I was so wired. I was wide awake, channel of information flowing, been feeling it in my body. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. So how are you guys feeling? And are you guys all ready for the holidays? What's happening? Let's just chat. I was gonna say something and I lost it. I hate when that happens. Mm. I just finished doing a bonus content, exclusive content for a YouTube membership. So if you're a YouTube subscriber, I should say, a YouTube subscriber to the membership, meaning you pay for the extra content. Can't have my words are not coming out in a flow today. Please go check your community tab if you are a YouTube member, paid member. There is a new video up for December's Channeling Wisdom. So that's available for you. And some good stuff too. Some good stuff. I have lots of exciting things on the horizon for 2023. This energy shift that we've had this week has really brought back the flow of inspiration and creation. I don't know if anybody else has really felt that energy come back, but I have felt it. I have felt it. So I have that creative energy flowing again. I have lots of things that I want to dabble into 2023. I have been trying to rebrand myself for 2 years. For 2 years, I have been wanting to do a rebrand, and nothing has hit. Nothing has been like, that's it. And for me, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, right? It's just not going to work. So yesterday, I solidified my new brand colors and the idea for my new logo. And I'm super excited about that. So that is finally in forward motion again. So there's going to be a whole new rebrand coming in 2023. And that is super exciting. I haven't decided when I'm going to do a 2023 video, but here's what I can tell you. Here's what I can tell you. 2023 is going to be a challenging year for a lot of people. There has been this pattern since I became more aware. So I gauge my level of self-awareness in years. So 2015 is really when the awareness just blew wide open for me, where I tend to go first. And that's really the life of a 1-3 in human design anyway. 1-3s tend to experience things ahead of the curve. And so we're a part of the collective that tends to kind of go first and then kind of guides others through it. So this past year, I believe will be what the collective is going to experience over the next couple of years, over next year and into 2024, is what I just went through in this year. Not verbatim of as to the experience, but the energy of what I went through. And so that has been my history throughout all the times that I have since I've been aware, where I would go through something massive and then I noticed that the collective would go through it. And then I kept seeing that pattern. And that's because of I'm a guide. I'm here to kind of be the one who's like, hey, I just went through that. I know how to navigate this. Let me help you. So based on that and what some of the information that the guides have brought through, 2023 is going to be a challenging year because I've already talked about it a little bit over the last 3 to 4 months, but we are in the physical stage of awakening for humanity. And so that has to happen for all of us individually as well. And while we go through these cycles multiple times, right? It's not just one time that we go through these cycles. It is where we start to see the most physical restructuring happening for humanity, which means there's going to be physical restructuring for everyone individually because we each contribute to the collective consciousness. We each contribute to what we see in the world. So that's why I always say, if you don't like what you see in the world, go home, look in the mirror, and whatever you're doing behind closed doors when no one's looking, you need to make some changes right there because you have a conscious contribution to the collective and to what we see in the world. It's just that simple. And so those things are going to be happening. The physical restructuring is going to be happening. And this is where we have the most powerful opportunity. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity. Every opportunity is a challenge to integrate, right? Because this is the magic sauce. You can learn all the things. You can go to school for all the things. You can do all the energy healings. You can listen to all the channelings, read all the books. But if you're not putting it into action and releasing the judgment of it, there's no integration. And that's the guides are always very simple with that. Like integration is just the release of judgment. Judgment is separation, and the only thing that judges is the ego. There is no judgment in oneness. There is no God judging anybody. There's no final judgment. The ego is judgment because the ego is the separation, right? Edging God out, I mean, ego. So ego is separation. So when you release the judgment of an experience or what is happening in the world or what's happening in your reality, which, listen, this is a lifelong practice. Nobody just wakes up one day and is judgment free. That is when you are indifferent to whether it happens or not. You're like, you're just going to go with the flow and choose for yourself and respond appropriately. There's no more reaction. There's no more trigger, none of that. You're just like, well, it is what it is, complete detachment. You may not agree with it. You may not like it. It may not feel good, but you're like, it is what it is. It's raining. Not, damn, it's raining. My plans are ruined. I wish it wasn't raining. That's all judgment. It's raining. Okay, now how do I want to respond? What about this do I not want to experience, and how can I alter my behavior to move forward and thrive in this environment? And so that is our biggest opportunity in 2023 is the full release of judgment. And this is something that has been very predominant in my life this year because as someone who's living the nomad life, I went into this and I wrote a post on my personal page about this yesterday, but I went into this with some kind of crazy plan and romanticized expectation of what I was going to experience. And that's the joke on me because how do you plan a nomad's journey? I mean, you're literally detaching from structure and saying, I'm going to jump into the stream and I'm going to flow. And that means you have to let go. You have to let go of the side. And so I've had hard lessons in letting go and releasing judgment of what is happening and choosing how to thrive in the circumstances. And sometimes I have been right on and I've had an amazing experience. And I was like, okay, I see how this is beneficial, right? Because when you have the experience, when you experience the release of judgment, when you experience actually just going into the stream of nonsense and you're just going with it, you're like, oh, okay, it's not so bad. And when you fight with it and try to control and judge it, you're like, oh shit, this is bad, it feels bad, right? So sometimes we have to experience the polarity of both sides numerous times before we finally will just consciously choose from the beginning, right? Where we'll stop and be in that space of awareness and be like, okay, this energy feels familiar. What do I want to do differently this time? What do I want to do differently this time? And so I've had my ebbs and flows of that, and that the consequences, right, of those choices have made big impacts on my life, right? They have been so predominant or impactful that it has brought me to my knees multiple times. And it's okay that it's done that, because you know what? This journey has been the most amazing, and it's been the craziest and scariest. But that's what it means to live in totality, guys. That's what it means. And I'm always talking about live in totality, live in totality. But when you live in totality, it's this and that. It's that you can cry and laugh at the same time. You can be scared out of your mind while still enjoying the ride. You can enjoy your experience while it's still not going as you expected it. It's always this and that, because nothing is ever really, truly ever going to go to plan, because you think you know what the plan is. You think you know. That's just your ego. Your ego don't know shit. It knows enough to get us in trouble. It can only base it upon the algorithm of the past. It just digs through the files, finds a familiar energy, pulls out that past memory and says, this is how we're going to respond based on what we had before. But you're not the same person you were before. So you have to make new choices every single time. You have to approach everything from a brand new lens. That's really what it means to be present. It's just to say, okay, how do I want to experience this energy? Even though I've felt this energy before, how do I want to experience it now? How do I want to respond now? It's all about now and forward, not going back and revisiting and rehashing. You don't want to do that. So I did a reel on this, I don't know when, some time back, where I said when you get stuck in indecision or obsessive thoughts, the fastest way to stop yourself when you're in an obsessive thought loop is just to say, am I mitigating or am I replaying, basically? It was not the word I used, but we're going to say replaying. So are you replaying a story from the past, trying to reconcile it? Or are you mitigating something that may happen in the future and trying to say, these are all the worst case scenarios that could happen, and I need to find a resolution for all of those in order to feel safe? So you ask yourself that question. Asking the question disrupts the pattern in the brain and allows for your brain to go, oh, a question, right? It's like entering a command into the computer. It now needs to search for the answer, and you're going to get an answer right away. And then from that space, you can say, okay, I choose to be here now. You take a breath and you say, choose to let that go. I choose to be here now. And you break that cycle, you break that pattern. So it's a really cool thing to do. So anyway, we're kind of going all over the place, but I had a little bit of time before I head out and wrap up some things. And because like I said, I just finished doing some exclusive content for the YouTube membership. And I had a little bit extra time. So I just wanted to hop on and say hello, kind of give you guys a little catch up on what's happening behind the closed doors over here, behind the scenes, and just see how everybody was doing and check in with you guys. We don't have a whole lot of engagement at this moment, so I will catch up with you guys on the replay. And I hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays for whatever it is that you celebrate, and that you take the time to really be present with your loved ones, with yourself, and enjoy the magic that is available this time. More people in the collective believe in magic and miracles this time of year than any other time. And because there is so much focus on it, it makes it so much easier to be in that energy and to expand that energy. And that is a powerful thing. So sometimes we don't want to pull in the collective energy, but when we have these moments, where there's more belief in magic and miracles, there's more emphasis, there's more there's no more power behind it. So focus on the magic, focus on the miracles, focus on the gift of being here, and enjoy yourselves. Not about what you have or what you don't have, or what could be better. Enjoy life, enjoy the experience. For all those who will be catching the replay, I hope to chat with you in the comments. I will see you guys after the holidays. Bye for now.